In the sprawling universe of iPads, one model often gets lost in the shadows of the flashier Pro and the budget-friendly base model, the iPad Air. But with the introduction of the M3 iPad Air, Apple is sending a clear message. This is the iPad for most people. After spending quality time with the device, we at Technology Review are ready to tell you why this iPad might just be the sweet spot you've been waiting for. Let's unpack everything you need to know, from performance and design to use cases, quirks, and whether it's worth the investment, or if you should consider another Apple device entirely. Sleek, familiar, and finally, centered. First impressions count, and Apple knows it. The M3 iPad Air delivers a clean, premium design that feels instantly familiar, yet modern. You've still got the elegant flat edges, slim profile, and a matte aluminum chassis that screams Apple minimalism. But what's more important than the design refresh? That long-awaited, centered front camera in landscape mode. Finally, video calls on FaceTime, Zoom, or Google Meet now feel natural, especially when using the iPad in keyboard mode. No more awkward glances to the side of the screen. Apple's moved with the times and it shows. On the back, a single 12MP camera rests discreetly, and that's more than enough for casual document scanning or a quick snapshot. Let's be honest, very few people walk around shooting photos with their iPad. Color palette that pops without screaming. Apple's color options for the M3 iPad Air are tasteful, with just enough personality to avoid being boring. You've got Starlight, Space Gray, Sky Blue, and Purple. We opted for Starlight, a soft, golden hue that balances class and charm. It doesn't scream for attention, but it does quietly impress. Display, great, but not pro. The 11-inch and 13-inch Liquid Retina displays are bright, colorful, and crisp. Text is sharp, and HDR video playback looks excellent. It's not the XDR panel of the iPad Pro, but it's no slouch either. There's no promotion here, meaning you're limited to a 60 Hz refresh rate. But unless you're coming from a Pro model or you're a heavy gamer, it's not something you'll even notice. For general usage, YouTube, note-taking, drawing, emailing, it's smooth and responsive. What we did notice, though, is that the screen, while fingerprint-resistant, still attracts smudges like a magnet. Keep that microfiber cloth nearby. Performance. M3 muscle in a thin frame. Here's the headline, this thing rips. Apple brought its M3 chip to the iPad Air, and that makes it one of the most powerful tablets on the market today, second only to the M4 iPad Pro. It's essentially last year's MacBook Air performance packed into a sleek, ultra-portable slab. Whether you're doing advanced multitasking with Stage Manager, editing 4K video, or playing demanding games, the M3 iPad Air handles it without a hiccup. And with 8 GB of RAM across all storage configurations, there's less segmentation than with the iPad Pro lineup. So, if you're future-focused, this is the kind of long-term decision that might pay off in spades. Multitasking and Stage Manager finally feels natural. Apple's Stage Manager has matured over the past year, and it finally feels intuitive. Drag and drop windows, resize apps, and mirror your iPad to an external display. With the M3 chip under the hood, Stage Manager no longer feels like a beta feature. It's genuinely useful. Add the Magic Keyboard, and you've got a legit productivity device that handles research, writing, spreadsheets, and email with ease. Accessories, a double-edged sword. Here's the truth. Apple's accessories are excellent but expensive. The Magic Keyboard turns the iPad Air into a lightweight laptop. It's premium with responsive keys and a silky trackpad, but it's only available in white for the Air. If you want that sleek black aesthetic, tough luck. The Apple Pencil Pro is the best stylus Apple's ever made, complete with barrel roll features, haptic feedback, and improved gestures. But it doesn't come cheap. If you're just note-taking or doing casual sketches, the basic USB-C Apple Pencil is the smarter buy. Add both accessories to your cart, and your $599 iPad can quickly turn into a $1,000 plus setup. At that point, you might start looking at MacBooks or even the iPad Pro. Storage. The 128 gigabytes debate. This one stings a bit. Apple starts the M3 iPad Air at 128 gigabytes, which feels too tight for power users or creatives storing large files. 256 gigabytes would have made more sense, especially given the device's pro-level performance. Yes, you can pay more for higher storage, but again, you're inching closer to pro pricing, and that's the balancing act Apple forces you into. Ports and connectivity. The little details matter. The M3 iPad Air features a USB-C port, supporting USB 3.1 Gen 2 and DisplayPort. It's great for connecting to external monitors or transferring files, but there's no Thunderbolt, and that limits high-speed data transfers and chaining multiple accessories. On the wireless front, though, you're covered. Wi-Fi 6E and Bluetooth 5.3 ensure strong, fast, and reliable connections with all your accessories. Sound and cameras, a tale of trade-offs. Let's be real. Most people don't use iPads for photography. The 12MP front camera in landscape mode is the real MVP here. Whether you're in a Zoom meeting or FaceTiming family, it looks great and finally feels centered in every sense of the word. As for audio, the stereo speaker setup gets the job done, but lacks the richness of the quad speaker system in the iPad Pro. If you care about immersive sound, music, movies, gaming, grab some AirPods or high-quality headphones. Battery life. Good, but not MacBook great. Apple claims 10 hours of use, and that's generally true. But during intensive sessions, multitasking with Stage Manager, streaming high-res video, or doing creative work, you'll see it dip faster than you'd like. It's solid, but not a battery life champ. If you're coming from a MacBook Air, you'll notice the difference. iPad Air M3 versus everything else. So who is this iPad really for? Students, absolutely. Whether you're taking notes, writing papers, or watching lectures, this iPad will serve you well. Add a keyboard and pencil, and it becomes a full-on study hub. Content creators and designers. For light to moderate work, yes. Video editors might still crave promotion and the XDR display, but the M3 chip can handle serious workflows. Casual users, watching Netflix, checking email, browsing Pinterest, or doing a bit of light gaming. This iPad will feel like a luxury device, but if you already own an M2 iPad Air, skip this. If you're choosing between this and the iPad Pro M4, ask yourself, do you really need the OLED display, Face ID, or Thunderbolt? If you're thinking of a MacBook, ask yourself, do you value macOS apps and desktop software more than iPadOS's versatility? Verdict: the iPad most people should actually buy. The iPad Air M3 walks the line between power and practicality like no other tablet right now. It's sleek, modern, versatile, and most importantly, future-proof. While the iPad Pro will always be the aspirational wow device and the base iPad will hold down the budget line, the iPad Air sits comfortably in the middle as the just right option. It may not grab headlines, but it absolutely earns its place in your daily routine. For the majority of users, the M3 iPad Air isn't just good, it's the best choice.